Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So, we all have to consume in order to live. Even trees need sunlight and water in order to grow and thrive. However, there are levels to everything. Things in the wilds like trees, birds, and bees consume in a way that is most highly efficient for themselves and the ecosystem/environment around them. How bees do their thing. So, in return for a delicious meal, these animals help the plants reproduce by moving the pollens between the male anther and the female stigma parts of the flower. This act of pollination is the first step in generating seeds, which create new plants. So, bees and other pollinators are declining in abundance in many parts of the world, largely due to intensive farming practices, monocropping, and so there's more to that I need to finish. But right now, let's take a look at intensive farming. So, definition of intensive farming. Intensive agriculture, also known as intensive farming as opposed to extensive farming, conventional or industrial agriculture, is a type of agriculture both of crop plants and of animals with higher levels of input and output per unit of agricultural land area. It is characterized by a low follow ratio, rather higher use of inputs such as capital and labor, and higher crop yields per unit land area. I want to share with you guys what the word follow means because I didn't know, and so I looked it up and I want to share with you guys. All right, definition of follow. Follow is a farming technique in which arable land is left without sowing for one or more vegetative cycles. The goal of following is to allow the land to recover and store organic matter while retaining moisture and disrupting pest life cycles and soil-borne pathogens by temporarily removing their hosts. Crop rotation systems typically called for some of the farmers' fields to be left fallow each year. The increase in intensive farming, including the use of cover crops in lieu of fallow practices, has caused a loss of acreage of fallow land, as well as field margins, hedges, and wastelands. This has reduced biodiversity. When they say reduced biodiversity, they're really saying this is reduced life. It's killing off life forms. Fallows have been the primary habitual for farmland and bird populations. All right, so then definition of monocropping, since we're right here. In agricultural, monocropping is the practice of growing a single crop year after year on the same land. Maize, soybeans, and wheat are all three common crops, often monocropped. Monocropping is also referred to as continuous cropping, as in continuous corn. Monocropping allows for farmers to have consistent crops throughout their entire farm. And look at the high fructose corn syrup and how much of it is and how devastating it is for our human body and for the planet. They can plant only the most profitable crop, use the same seed, pest control, machinery, and growing method on their entire farm, which may increase overall farm profitability. Again, doing it for profit. That's the only good reason. The effects of the monocropping is the practice. Now, they can be used if you're using hemp or other things. That's different. But especially when you're using corn and pesticides and chemicals and GMOs and shit like that, that kills the soil. So it kills our future ability to produce food for ourselves. It kills the earth, and it kills other animals' ability to habitate and live on that part of the land. Again, and they like to say that they're doing this to increase the food shortage, but then or decrease the food abundancy, but yet why are we having food shortages all over the place? And why are there still 25,000 starving children every day? So it's just a bunch of bullshit they feed us. The effects of monocropping is the practice of growing the same crop on the same plot of land year after year. This practice depletes the soil of its nutrients, making the soil less productive and over time. Reducing organic matter in soil, and it can cause significant erosion. So, it's not good at all, man. It all goes back to capitalism, which is driven by profit. So, why using monocropping? Farmers use this method to maximize the profit and make for a more efficient farming process. Now, this is done with plants like hemp, which literally regenerate the soil they are grown on and clean up the area they are grown on and don't require the use of chemicals and pesticides. This can be very good. Now, I'm not an expert farmer, obviously, so I don't know all the specifics, but you still might need to crop rotate even with hemp. But from what I've studied, everything about the hemp plant is good for everything that it's around. So I need to look more into that. So anyway, let's continue on. But when we plant things like corn and use all types of GMO and chemicals to kill off pests and stuff, this kills the soil. And when we continue to do this over and over and all around the country/world, we are choosing to make a quick buck while knowing we are screwing ourselves and others in the future by depleting land and soil of its ability to not grow only food for us, but also a habitat for all other life forms. And this is done only in order for humans to make more money more quickly and at devastating costs and to our own food and by in devastating hold on a second. where was it? Devastating costs. And this is also in line with the new WO's agenda, okay, to create chaos by diminishing our ability to grow our own food and by increasing the cost of food by, again, diminishing the amount of land available. I'm going to make another video for this one. All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.